Welcome, Capricorn. This is your weekly Teroscope reading for June the 29th through to July the 5th, 2015. My name is Tilly, and welcome to Tarot with Tilly. And thank you for all the support you give me each and every day. Truly, thank you so much. Now let's get to the cards. We don't start off with the greatest of cards, but we end with the most beautiful cards. So, as we go into the week, it, I really see you moving forward this week. Moving forward with finances, moving forward with perhaps opportunities. This money could come out of nowhere this week. But I think there's situations in your life where there's people in your life that are creating situations in your life where you're really going to have to figure out what you're going to let go of, what you're going to compromise on, what you are going to go forward with the strength. The Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is our first card. And then we have the Seven of Swords here, so I think it has to do more with people in your life than situations, but it could very well be situations in your life that are weighing you down. So maybe you are putting trust where it doesn't belong. I'm kind of reading into the Seven of Swords here a little bit with this one. Maybe you're putting too much faith into somebody or a situation, and it won't pan out, and you know it. You know it in your heart. You have the wisdom. Okay, with this card, okay, we have all these wands in the bag, and we carry it on our back. And it is making each step on our path so laborious, so hard, and we don't need to have it that way. So I think this week is, especially as we begin the week, we want to take a little bit of time to meditate, or we want to pray, or we want to have some quiet time to really think through maybe relationships in our life and what they bring to the table, what they do, what kind of value they have in our life, where we are giving them opportunities to grow, where we know we shouldn't be giving them opportunities to grow and we should really take the reins, where we need to compromise and we shouldn't be pushing forward as hard as we are in order to get the same thing done. It will work out. Definitely it will work out with these cards. So maybe loosen the reins, the control of the situation, and just allow people to do what they feel they need to do. And if they fall on their face, they fall on their face because you love them. And sometimes we have to allow people to go through the hurt and the pain themselves to really have the realization of the wisdom that they need in order to walk their path strong and true going forward. So this is where you really have to kind of decipher what is important, what isn't important, where you can compromise, where you can't compromise, and being very truthful and honest with yourself on how it plays out in your life, because you have to worry about your steps forward. You can't be worried about everybody else and what they're doing and if it's right and if it's wrong and if it's going to play out for them the way it should. Sometimes you just have to let other people do what they need to do and learn the wisdom on their own terms. Okay, so this is, I think there's a lot of happiness and new growth in this bag, but it's also being weighed down by a lot of problems that really aren't your problems, or you've taken the responsibility on to be your problem, and it's not your problem, and you need to let it go. And you need to loosen the reins and walk your own path. And pay attention to your own path this week, because I think your path is just beautiful. We have the Knight of Pentacles as your very first card in the layout. Okay, that the Ten of Wands is the card that I'm going to go back to for each card, which I think is the most important card. But in the layout, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So what needs to be done, and you have a very practical and sensible approach. And if you follow your intuition, if you follow your inner wisdom, you're not going to have any problems this week. Okay, this Knight rides on his horse, holding that pentacle in front of him. He doesn't even have a weapon. He's so sure of his steps forward, of what actually needs to be the next step forward and the step after that and the path he needs to take in order to get to his destination, in order to manifest what he wants in his life, that there is no worry, there is no concern. So you have a very good hold on what you need to do and where you need to go and what actions you need to actually do yourself in order to get to where you're going. The Knight of Wands is with it. So the Knight of Wands is the pause here where you're going to be giving it some thought. You're giving it some consideration, okay? The Knight of Wands, he has gone through a certain point in his journey and he has stopped now. And he stops to maybe think things through, definitely to give gratitude that he's made it to this point. And before he mounts that horse and he rides off into the sunset, to reach his destination, to manifest the things he wants in his life, he asks for the protection and the wisdom in order to have a clear path forward, in order to have wonderful opportunities present themselves to him, in order for there not to be conflicts and problems. And we have the Seven of Swords right next to it. And this is really trusting people that shouldn't be trusted, or giving too much credit where no credit is due. This is being a little bit defensive in how you approach people and their value in your life. I would have to say for the majority of you, there's at least one person in your life where you are allowing them more control than they should have. Or you are trying to hold the control so strong that you are not allowing them to gain the wisdom on their own terms. Now, it's with the Queen of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. So let's just go back to this card just for one more second here. This is where you decide what you truly need to go on your path forward. This is where you make the decisions on what's important for your path forward, what really needs to be accomplished, what needs to be accomplished by you, what you can leave behind, what you can leave on other people's plates, what shouldn't be your responsibility in the first place, what shouldn't be your obligation in the first place. So it may be that you need to delegate things a little bit more in your life, allow other people to take over the reins so that you can concentrate, and I think I've said this to you in several readings over the last several weeks, to concentrate on the things that are most important on your path, to not have the extra clutter of other people's problems and other people's obligations and other people's responsibilities on your plate. You really need to concentrate on what's on your plate, on what's going to get you to your destination, on what's going to get you to manifesting the beauty in your life. And we have the Queen of Pentacles right next to it. So this is you sitting in your power, in your authority, and the sky is electrified. So yeah, you might rock the boat a little bit this week, but it's a good energy. It's a strong energy, and you sit there confident. The sun is carved right into your chair or your throne there. The angel sits next to you, and you hold that well-being, you hold that wealth so confidently, just like you hold it here. So confidently. So when you really use the energy this week to really concentrate on what you need to do to move forward and not really concern yourself on what everybody else is doing in order to move forward, or trying to help them out, or because that's the kind of person you are. I mean, you are the person I want next to me when I'm trying to strategize everything and bring things together, and you're the one I want running the show. Okay, that's the Capricorn energy. And so I can see how people will lean on you and say, if you could just do this for me, and if you could take over this, and if you could organize this, and So you really need to actually build some walls. You really need to say, this is important to me. This is what I need to do in order to go forward. And I can't do it if I'm depleting my energy on everybody else's obligations and responsibilities. This is where you become strong. You become the queen. You say, I'm delegating this to you. I'm delegating this to you. I'm delegating this to you. This is your problem. This is your responsibility. This is your obligation. I have my own. And that will move you forward with a beauty, with a determination. And yeah, you know there's work involved. You know there's work in order to go forward. But it's for your goals. It's for your preservation of your dreams and your manifestation of your happiness and your goals and your dreams and your joys. So you are more than capable of putting that stick in the ground and pushing yourself offshore and going forward. And those swords in front of the boat is your shield, your wisdom, your lessons that you've learned in order to go forward. Now we have the Queen of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. And this is where I kind of get goosebumps for you. Because I mean, this is the lucky break. This is, I mean, the Ace of Pentacles is money coming into the picture in order to help you on your path forward. Now, when it's the Ace of Pentacles, it doesn't necessarily mean it's money that you've earned. So this is the week to buy the lottery ticket. It's probably not the week to buy the lottery ticket, but hey, someone's got to win, right? You know, this could be somebody else winning money and saying, you know what, you are such a good person, you've helped me out all these years, and so I want to reward you. I want to give you a piece of the pie. This could be just somebody coming in and supporting you. Maybe it's just you just need somebody to love you and to care for you and to be there at the end of your day, and so that might be what comes in. Because it is with the Queen of Cups, so it's all about love. It's all about the appreciation of who you are. And somebody showing their love to you. But this is money coming in, and it's not necessarily money that you have earned. It could be that you get the promotion out of nowhere, and you didn't even know you were up for the promotion. Or it could be that court settlement finally comes through, or that insurance payout finally happens, or you get a rebate on your taxes that you weren't expecting, but it's some kind of money that helps you. But I would think it would come more from a source of somebody you know. It's definitely because of the beautiful person you already are. Okay, now with the Queen of Cups, I mean, this could be somebody coming in. This could be a new relationship starting, and that brings you a strength. It could be somebody in your life that, you know, you thought you were the third wheel because they weren't really paying attention to you, or they didn't have time for you, and all of a sudden they're saying, you know what, I really do care about you, I really do love you, I really do think you're special, and giving you loads of attention where they haven't been, and filling in that void for you. So it could be somebody in an established relationship already. It could be somebody new in a relationship. I think it's more of this card depicts who you are as a person. The Queen of Cups is a very beautiful, nurturing, wonderful person. She also has the patience of Job, right? Patience is a virtue, and I'm really getting that with this card this week. It's been in several of the readings, and I really get that it's not by, you know, even with all this energy, and I'm telling you, you know, you really have to decide on, you know, giving people back their responsibilities and their obligations. There's always different approaches that you can use, and I think the approach that you need to use is one of empathy, one of love, one of consideration for what they're going through, and delivering it in that way, in that manner. I don't think you are going to be mean about it. I don't think you should be mean about it. I don't think you want to end any kind of relationship with hurtful words and bad feelings, and almost use that motherly approach. It's like when we want our kids to clean their room, right? We use that motherly approach, and then we have the patience of Job, waiting for them to just pick up one pair of pants, right? So it's that kind of energy that you really need to use in your relationships when you are telling them that their responsibilities are their responsibilities and their obligations are their obligations, and they need to step up to the plate and take care of their own issues, because you have things that you need to pay attention to and put energy into, so that you can have the beauty and hit your goals and your dreams just the way you want. Okay. um, there's a beauty about this card this week. There's a beauty about who you are. And so you really need to tap into just how beautiful and deserving you are, and realizing that even when you're standing your ground with some people and rocking the boat a little bit with some people, that you're doing it out of love. You're doing it out of helping them grow as people and opening up the doors for opportunities to happen in your life. So until we meet again, remember, I do love you.